Hey everyone, Tori here today with another live scrap video. This one is another album share. So I'm just gonna make sure my camera is good. It's shaking a little bit, but it should be stopped as soon as I get off of this chair that I'm on. And I have a album to share with you today, which I thought would be really fun. And if you guys have any comments or questions or anything, you can ask as we go, and I would be happy to answer them. Not sure if anyone's popped on yet, but that's okay. I'm sure people will pop on as we're going and everything. So I'm just gonna wait a second or two just to see if anybody pops on. And while I'm doing that, because there's some of you who will be watching it later, I did want to mention that I have two other albums from the African Children's Choir to share with you. They've already been posted to my channel, so you can go back and look at the last few videos, and I'll have part 1 and part 2 up there. This is part 3 of my African Children's Choir trip. And I'm using this red polka dot album, but this is kind of sad. When I opened the packaging, I realized that it had a slice right through the front of it. And I haven't been able to find another red and white polka dot album. So, I don't know. I might just replace it. Not really sure what I'm gonna do. Whether I'm gonna keep it like this or replace the album or whatever. I guess we'll just see what happens. So, I'm sharing part 3 of my African Children's Choir trip. If you're here, leave me a comment in the live chat box to let me know so that I can say hi and give you a little shout out. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. So Carmen is here. Carmen, you are like, I just want to say, my most faithful YouTube live friend. I just really appreciate you. You're always here, you leave good comments, you're really sweet, you give good suggestions when I'm doing scrap along with me, so thanks so much, Carmen. Maybe it'll just be you and I tonight, but that's okay. I know it's late. I should have done it earlier. I actually kind of forgot that it was Saturday, but whatever. So, I'm not sure if you guys watched part 2, but I know Carmen did. Do you remember in the last video how I read that layout about the little girl named Margaret who couldn't spell her middle name and then she drew it out? Well, for some reason, I glued that picture to this album, which is kind of funny that it would be in part 3, not in part 2. And it's like really glued on there and I can't get it off. So I'm not sure why it's in this album, but whatever. I mean, I guess if you were looking at them in sequential order. And I just wanted to mention that I totally realized that this is not how people in North America spell Margaret, but that's how she spells her name, so it's a little different. Anywho, so this is part 3. So this was 2013 mostly, these photos. Hi Haley, thanks so much for joining me. I'm just going to share my 3rd African Children's Choir album with you guys. And I have one more after this. And I'm excited because I actually really enjoy doing these album shares. It's kind of fun for me to look back at them and to see them. Now, I can't actually see on my computer or my phone if the album is in frame. So if I'm outside of frame, can you guys just let me know? Just the way that it's set up and everything, I can't really see. So I think it is in frame. So I'm just gonna go under the assumption that it is in frame. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll just keep going. So I started the album with this giant photo of one of the girls smiling, which I just thought was super cute. And again, I print my 12 by 12 off at Walmart. And then on the back of it, I just have a photo, or 3 photos of some of the chaperones. I wasn't really sure how to do this. This page design is design E from Becky Higgins, and I wasn't really sure how to do it, so I kind of just played around with it, and I kind of like the way that this worked with having like 3 square photos and a quote or whatever, and I think it looks cute. I would definitely use this design again, and actually since then on Pinterest I created a Pinterest board just for how to use Design E page protectors so that I could go back and look for inspiration if I ever use this design again. So I have another one of those calendars in here, and this one's kind of fun. We started off in Sacramento, California, and we traveled all over California, like right up the coastline. So we did lots of California in this month, but we also had lots of really fun things too. So I kind of like that I have that. And then I've got my map, and as you can see, it's colored in. And I listed all the fun things that we did. I had some ephemera from a bulletin at one of the concerts that we did from March 5th, 2013. And then I just kind of go into the photos from, what month is this? Oh, March, duh. And go into the photos from March. So we got to go on a gondola ride, which is when you go like up a hill to go skiing or something. So we went up the gondola ride, which the kids thought was hilarious. They actually, some of them were a little scared, but it was really fun to go up the gondola ride, and they were so high up in the air. Like, his face is so funny. He was freaking out. This is Alan Dan. And one of the chaperones here was like rocking the gondola like back and forth, and they were like screaming, like partially out of fear, partially out of excitement. And I think this card was like so perfect. It's like, I'm not going to freak out. And then I put these letter stickers on there, okay, just a little bit, because I feel like it matches his face like so perfectly. And then just some more photos from when we were at the top of the mountain, which the kids just thought was really cool. And they got to like sit on a skidoo, or what do you call those? They're not skidoos, like a snowmobile or whatever, which they thought was really fun. And we just had a really good time on the gondola ride. And we got to meet a world famous gold medal skier. Can't remember what his name is. Obviously, I am not a skier, so I have no clue who that guy was, but the kids were excited. And then he kind of skied down the mountain as we were going down. And the kids got to watch him out the window. Oh, look at that out. And I just got a really big 12 by 12 photo here, and I kept this one simple by just adding like some stickers at the bottom on the snow. This album is like so jam-packed. I thought about moving some of the pages to the other album, but that one was jam-packed too, so I'm just gonna leave it and hopefully it's okay. I kind of wish the album was like just like a 1/4 inch bigger though. Just some fun winter photos. This one's kind of fun. I just took some craft cardstock and stamped these hearts on there with white paint, and then did a little splattering and stuff. So I think this is about the time in my scrapbooking history where I discovered that I liked making my own project life cards, which was kind of fun. So I started doing that more and more often. Like this one came from an old calendar book that I had, and I made that, and then that was just like different cards mixed in with that. A really fun memory. We went roller skating for the first time with the kids, and we did it for like an hour, and they literally just fell down over and over and over again for like an hour. And there were no tears though. Like 20 kids falling over and over and over for an hour. Like, I don't think one of them really got the hang of it. And they just kept getting back up and smiling and laughing, and they never wanted to leave because they were just having so much fun. They just had such a good attitude. Easter. Like the way that this worked out. This is kind of funny. I didn't have the letter A, so I used an ampersand. And then a little insert. So I think the page protectors that I use like ranged, obviously, which ones. And I'm pretty sure the reason that they ranged was just because the first box of page protectors that I got at Michael's was that like big pack, you know, the big pack that has all the different ones in it. So that's kind of what inspired the use of different page protectors. And I had no idea that, like, some people use the same page protector on everything. Like, that just never was even something that I had even heard of before. Because obviously most of my ideas were, like, coming from Pinterest at this time. Because this was, like, the beginning of scrapbooking. And look at this. An album with 2 empty pages. Do any of you guys ever have that? Like a photo album with empty pages not filled in? I cannot for the life of me. I knew which photos I wanted to put here. We did a photo booth, and I wanted to include photo booth photos on these 2 pages, but I cannot for the life of me find those photos anywhere. Like, I'm not sure if I deleted them or put them in the wrong folder or what. I can't find them anywhere. And they were such cute photos. So part of me thought about just taking the cards from this page here and putting them here and just saying, okay, I'm not going to include the photo booth. But, like, I have this, like, hope that I'm still going to be able to find the photo booth photos. So it's just blank. But I don't know. Do you guys ever do that? Do you leave it and just, like, stick a Post-it note on it for what you want to put there? Do you think I should just take the cards from here and stick them in here and just forget about it? Or hold on to the hope that I might one day find the photo booth photos? I don't know. I kind of don't like that the album is not complete just because of this 2-page spread. But then on the other hand, I don't want to give up because those photo booth photos were so cute. So, I don't know. I need some help deciding. If you guys have any thoughts, go ahead and leave them there. Just some kids who did really well in school. Their, like, spelling test or whatever, so that's there. Another calendar. So in April, we went from Colorado. We flew to Florida, back to Colorado. Then we went to Kansas. And we traveled around each of those states. And we did fly, so I have some of our plane tickets in here, which is kind of fun. Just like a bunch of the kids' plane tickets. I kept those. And I love that it's got the kids' names on it and everything. Kind of a fun memorabilia. I wasn't sure where to stick them, so I kind of just stuck them in between the calendar and my map. But it kind of is fun to go there. So, I like them there. And then I have my map showing you all the states that we visited colored in. I feel like this was like the first few albums that I made, which were all these African Children's Choir ones, were like just an experimentation of figuring out what kind of things I like. Do I like sewing? Do I like making my own cards? What kind of embellishments I like? I kind of just played around a lot, and I actually feel that it was like after I finished all of my African Children's Choir albums that I kind of figured out my style. Back here, my style was very much like heavy embellishing, but now I think it's maybe a little more simplistic than that, but I don't know. I don't love all of the pages, but I love the memories and what I've included, so I feel like it's totally worth keeping this album and everything, obviously, because these memories are amazing. So in May, we traveled a lot. Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Kansas. I have some ephemera in here, plane ticket things, and the map of all the states that we had visited. By the way, we, in our whole 1.5-year tour, we visited 38 U.S. states, 1 Canadian province. We visited England, Scotland, and Ireland. Yeah, those are all the places we visited, which is kind of crazy to think we did that in a 1.5 years, but it was so much fun. And we got to do a huge concert in Florida for Samaritan's Purse for their like 1 millionth shoebox or something. And the kids got to sing with Matthew West and Michael W. Smith, which are huge Christian music artists. And they had so much fun meeting them and getting to sing their songs with them, and it was just really fun. So Please don't judge me. This little kid is inside of a dryer. He fit in there and he kind of crawled in and was like, look, Auntie, I fit in the dryer. Don't worry. We didn't shut the door or anything. He just wanted to show that he could fit in there. So. Oh, and then here's some photos of the kids singing with Michael W. Smith on stage, him singing, the kids meeting him before the concert. They grabbed a photo. And then Matthew West photos over here. And sadly, I didn't get the opportunity to meet Michael W. Smith because he showed up late for rehearsal and I was outside at the product table, but I did meet Matthew West when the kids got to meet him. And if you are into like Christian music artists, you should definitely check out Matthew West. He is incredible. Like, he's incredible. And he is honestly the nicest, sweetest, kindest person you will ever meet in your entire life. Like, Carmen's saying, which one's your favorite, Carmen? Is it Matthew West or Michael W. Smith? Because they're both really good artists. But Matthew West was just so kind. He gave all of the kids his CDs, and he was just such a sweet guy. And at this concert for Samaritan's Purse, the kids got to sing in front of 20,000 people, which was just like mind-boggling and amazing. So, it's really cool. Oh, you know what I forgot to tell you in the last two videos, and I want to make sure that I don't forget to tell you? One of the most incredible things about my trip with the African Children's Choir is that they made a documentary called Imba Means Sing, I-M-B-A means sing, Imba means sing, of my time with the African Children's Choir, and they followed our choir from beginning in Uganda all throughout their trip and to the end of their trip back to Uganda. So if anybody is interested, my suggestion would be to Google Imba Means Sing. I believe you can get it on the iTunes store as well. It's an incredible documentary, and it really shares the incredible journey of the kids from the beginning of tour to the end of tour, and just the life-changing impact that the tour has on these kids. So another big photo, I guess this one is 8x12. Just the girls look so pretty. I wanted to like blow the picture up. Having lunches on the roadside in between while driving, next to the bus, road stops. We visited the U.S. Olympic Training Center. Where is the Olympic Training Center? I cannot remember where this is right now. Let's see if I can find it on the map. I don't know. I can't find it right now. Yeah, Imba, Carmen, it's called Imba, I-M-B-A, means sing, like M-E-A-N-S, sing. What I'll do is, Carmen, I think you're on my Facebook page, aren't you? I can message you a link later if you want. If you're not my friend on Facebook, you can add me, and then I can send you the link. So we got to visit the Olympic Training Center and meet a few of the United States Olympics, a few of the United States Olympic athletes, which was really cool. The kids really enjoyed meeting them, so we took a bunch of photos, and they got to hold like the, what do you call it? The thing that lights up with fire. Did any of the kids get sick? Like, just in general, throughout the year and a half? Yeah, a few times they did get colds, and typically when they got a cold, everybody got a cold, because you have 30 people, no, 26 people traveling together in close proximity. They're gonna get sick, so we kind of, typically if somebody got sick, everybody got sick. We had a couple kids who like got bloody noses and things like that. One kid sprained his wrist, and I think that's it. I think just a few colds and one kid who sprained his wrist. And the sad thing about, I think it was Kendrick who sprained his wrist. The sad thing about him who sprained his wrist, and he was totally devastated about it, was at the end of the concert, Kendrick no, not Kendrick. Why am I saying Kendrick? Herbert. At the end of the concert, Herbert would do like a back spring across the stage because he loved doing them. And he really hurt his wrist and he couldn't do a back spring for like a couple months. And he was just so devastated because he really loves doing back springs and all of those things. So it's kind of sad. What about homesickness? Well, for the most part, in terms of homesickness, they were pretty good. We didn't really talk about it that much, so that kind of helped. And they got letters from their parents, and they got to send their parents letters, which also really helped help with the homesickness. So for them, I think they were pretty good. And the truth is that we're like a family. Like all 20 of the kids and the chaperones were together 24/7 for a year and a half, and we become like a family. So while you at times might feel a little homesick, because we're all together, it really helps. And you know that saying, like, home is where the heart is? It's so true, because you just love each other so much that it becomes like your own family. So what I really want, the reason I didn't keep going, because I want to talk about this. So I did a space unit because the kids were so interested in the space and the planets and stuff like that. So this is just some pictures of our space unit. So like they colored in planets, and then I gave each of the kids a different planet to create out of styrofoam balls, and they painted them and we hung them all up in the bus. And I found astronaut ice cream somewhere, I don't even remember where, and they all tried it, and it's disgusting. Like, if you've ever tried astronaut ice cream, it's disgusting. It tastes like chalk. But the kids had so much fun trying it, they were just so excited. So I wanted to include pictures of our space unit and and I included the packaging from our astronaut ice cream and a picture of a rocket that one of the kids drew. And then this is something that's like so special. I'm so glad I kept these. In our space unit, we talked about Dr. Mae Jemison, who was the first African-American woman to go to space. The first African-American woman to go to space. And we talked about how cool it was to think that she was the very first person who got to go to, first African lady who got to go to space. Obviously, they're from Africa. And the kids were just so amazed with her and inspired by her. So I had all of the kids write her a letter just about how much they inspired her. And I had the kids write them, and then I typed them up for them, and then they colored pictures. And they're just so precious. Like, these letters are so special. Let me see if I like this one. Dear Dr. Mae Jemison, you make me want to go to space, Dr. Mae Jemison, because you are the first African-American woman to go to space. I'm going to be the first female president of Uganda. Did you go to space at night or in the morning? Was it fun there? How old are you now? Thank you for showing me that Africans can go to space. I come from Uganda and I'm 9 years old. Thank you for helping poor people. I wish I could see you. Love, Angel. And like, there's just such amazing like messages here to Dr. Mae Jemison, and I really, really wish that I could send her these letters. I emailed, I wrote letters, I Facebooked, I tweeted, I tried to contact her in every way that I possibly could to get these letters to Dr. Mae Jemison, because she's still alive. Well, she was 3 years ago when I looked. And I tried so hard to get her these incredible letters, and I never ever got a response, which is just so sad, because they are like such sweet like notes, and like I think it would have been really sweet for her to get these. Like, if I was her, I would want to see these letters just because they're so sweet. I'm trying to find a specific one to share with you. I don't know, I can't find the one I'm looking for. Is space fun? You are great. Thank you for showing us that African can do something great. Is it true that you were dancing in the rocket? Now I'm in the African Children's Choir, and when I grow up, I hope to be a nurse. Oh, this one's really sweet. Like, don't you think that she should read this letter? Dear Dr. Mae Jemison, thank you for changing people's lives. You have inspired me to go to space. Did you go to space at night? Did you like going to space? What was the best thing to do in space? How are you doing? How did you feel when you went there? Was it fun to go to space? We are in the African Children's Choir. We live in Uganda. We sing and dance for people in concerts. I like singing and playing. When I grow up, I want to be a teacher. I love you so much. Love, Samantha. Like, I just think that these messages are so sweet and the pictures are so sweet that I really wish I could have gotten them to her. But in the meantime, because I can't get them to her, I can just keep them for myself inside of my album because they're just so precious and I like going back and reading them and stuff. So I just use one of those Becky Higgins, what do you call these things? Envelopes to stick the letters into so that I could kind of keep them in my album. And then I have June's calendar and the map of where we visited. And this was our 1-year anniversary. So what we did was we wrote 365 on the board and we wrote down 365 things that we were thankful for and praise God for those things. So that's what we wrote on there. We did a VBS. Look, I made some more Project Life cards. It's like the beginning of my desire to make things. To design things myself. I like how these memories are all in here. Pool party, another handmade card. We got to go on these giant pump it up slide thingies. And one of the other things I think that has changed a lot is when I did these albums, I did a lot of picking 1 or 2 colors to do the whole page on, like all green, all yellow, all pink, all yellow. And while I think it looks really pretty, I don't really do that anymore. Like if you guys watch my style now, isn't really like that. My style now is more in the colors that I really like instead of just going with colors that were the same on every page. So it's kind of fun. And this is when I kind of discovered for making 12 by 12 pages. So as you notice, this album is pretty much almost entirely, and the other two were too, almost entirely Project Life. And as I was doing my Project Life and looking on Pinterest for ideas and stuff, I kind of stumbled upon scrapbooking and I fell in love with scrapbooking, and then that kind of started to take over. So I think I pretty much finish out the album with more Project Life than I do scrapbooking, like 12 by 12 pages, but I kind of started playing around with 12 by 12 and really falling in love with what you could do with it. So that's kind of fun. Another letter from one of the kids, huge 12 by 12. One of the really fun things that we got to do on tour was we pulled up to the African Children's Choir. We have a home base called Mirembe in North Carolina, and one of the awesome things, I can't remember what I'm trying to say, one of the awesome things was that our choir, Choir 39, was there, and Choir 40, the choir that came after us, was also there. And something really special was my older brother Josh was one of the chaperones on Choir 40, and we had 2 kids in our choir who had younger siblings in that choir. So they got to see their younger siblings who they hadn't seen in over a year, and I hadn't seen Josh in over a year too. So I just put a photo of each of us with our siblings, so with their sibling there so you could see them, and just kind of really fun. Some more notes. a letter from one of the chaperones, another calendar, and another map. And I included I guess we went to Despicable Me, the movie, so I included a movie stub. And here's just some more photos of the two choirs together. The chaperones from my choir, the chaperones from Choir 40 all together, and my brother Josh, and then all the boys from our choir and that choir. And then we had 4th of July together with the two choirs, and we got to hang out and have so much fun. It was so fun seeing the two choirs together. Like, look, you can see the two buses, and I made pancakes for like 60 people. It was fun though. And we had chicken together, which the kids loved. And again, another scrapbook page. So you can see that I'm starting to incorporate the scrapbook pages into my layouts. And at this point though, I didn't actually add any journaling. I added a little bit there, but on this one I didn't have any journaling. Here again, just a little bit of journaling. And this is kind of fun. I like the way that this worked out, this scrapbook page and this Project Life page, because I used the same papers on both, and I used the same embellishments on both pages, so I really like how cohesive that worked out. And we went to an Atlanta Braves game, so there's the ticket from the Braves game. And the kids got to sing the national anthem at the Atlanta Braves game. So I've got photos of that. And while we were at the Atlanta Brave game, we got to meet Evander Holyfield. Holyfield? Not sure how you say his name. Anyways, we got to meet him. And he wanted to take a picture with the kids, so we got a picture with him. And I kind of like the way that this layout worked out. I had some old like baseball themed embellishments, so I used those. And on here I made these cards by, I put the stickers down on the cardstock to spell out "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and then I misted it with black ink and removed the stickers to kind of create that negative effect. And then I got some tags there, some more baseball themed items, which was kind of fun. Random photos of a host family we stayed at. Another picture from one of the kids. We did a concert for Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And that was that. When we were in Atlanta, we also got to visit the flight simulator that they have there. And we had two kids on the choir, Moses and Eric, who when they grow up they wanted to be a pilot, so they got to like practice flying a plane in the flight simulator in Atlanta. It was so much fun. And then we took the kids to Disney, which was amazing. And the next few pages are all about our Disney trip, because honestly I had to make a number of pages. So I've got a giant picture of the kids here, and then on this side I just wanted it to stay pretty plain, so I just have a giant picture, and then I glued the Walt Disney button that says first visit on there, because it was the first time the kids had ever been there, and they were so excited. They were so excited. So some more pictures and just another scrapbook page. And I love the way that this page worked out. This is kind of like when I started discovering a love for scrapbooking 12 by 12 layouts. And I just really like the way that that worked out. I stuck in some of our Walt Disney World cards and just pictures of them around Magic Kingdom, on some of the rides and everything. They got to meet Jasmine and Aladdin, which the kids thought was the most incredible thing in the whole entire world. Again, they don't really understand how you meet Jasmine and Aladdin in real life, but they had so much fun doing that. So more photos. Honestly, this was like probably one of my favorite parts of our entire trip, was visiting Disney World. Like, the kids were just so excited and so thankful and grateful all day. And you think you take like a bunch of kids from Africa and get them to go to Walt Disney World with all the rides and the characters, and just such an amazing trip. And the tickets for the trip were all donated for all of the choir and everything, which was just incredible. And such a fun journey for the kids to get to go on. So just love that. And here's probably one of my favorite pages in this whole album, Peter Pan versus Hook. I had been reading Peter Pan to the kids, and they thought it was the most incredible story in the whole entire world. And one day when we were at the park, the kids just picked up some sticks and were like reenacting word for word the fight scene between Peter Pan and Hook. So I wanted to scrapbook that in here, and I love the way that this page worked out. I found an old Peter Pan book, and I included like pictures of the characters that I fussy cut out. And then I used some old book pages for the Project Life cards that fit in there. And I just love this page. It just makes me so happy. Another giant photo. We got to do a recording. We recorded some music for Slugs and Bugs, which is like a children's song CD. And so this was at the recording studio. I believe this recording studio was in Tennessee, maybe. I can't remember where it was. North Carolina, Tennessee, I don't know. Something like that. And so we recorded, and the kids had so much fun doing the songs and everything. More traveling. Kids' homework, I think this is homework. I don't know what it is. Just random photos of tour. On tour, some of the kids wanted to get baptized, so that was their own decision. So we went down to the lake and we baptized them, so there's just some photos of that. Just a really incredible memory. And the kids got to swim in the lake, so these pictures are silhouettes that I took from swimming at the lake. And I kind of teared the edge of the page protector, so I ended up adding some washi tape, and I really love the way that the washi tape looks on the page. Like, it just is super cute. And I think that that inspired me for future layouts and projects, because if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you probably know that in my December daily albums, I often add washi tape to the edges of my page protectors. And then this album's almost done. On the back, I just have some other random photos from tour. Another scrapbook page of my two bag check girls. And basically that means these are the two girls that I was responsible for, Patience and Patricia. Making sure that they had everything that they needed. And at the end of this album is when we packed up and got ready to fly to the UK. So, one of the things that I have in the back of this album, which I just love, is I have this map of the US where I have every single state that we visited colored in. Look at all those places we visited. It's kind of mind-boggling. And I included one more thing back here in terms of ephemera. And I'm going to try to show it to you on camera. It's a little big, so it's not really going to show up super great on camera. But I'm going to try. This is a map of the United States. And what we did is on tour, we stuck this map up. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera down for a second and show you. We stuck a giant map of the United States up on the front of the bus. Just going to take this down. And as we traveled around the United States, we drew a line to all of the different places we visited. And Uncle Vic, who's the bus driver, added little stars for all the places that we visited. And I just think this is so cool. Like, this is like one of the coolest pieces of ephemera that I've ever had. And I'm so glad that I got to enjoy it and stick it in the album. I kind of wish that I could actually put it in the album, but right now it just kind of sits in the back. So you can see we started in Indiana, and we drove from Indiana to Illinois, to back to Indiana, back to Illinois. We drove through Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska. Like, just look at all these places we traveled. And what a crazy journey we had traveling all over the United States. Anyways, I really wanted to show that with you, so sorry if it's a little blurry and kind of moving around a little bit, but I think it's just such a cool piece of ephemera that I really wanted to show it to you. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's live video, and I think that's going to be it for me today. I'll be back probably next week with part 4 of my African Children's Choir scrapbook album. And I hope that you guys really enjoyed it. Thanks so much for joining me. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything, you can type them in and I'd be happy to answer you even after the video has finished. And that's it for me. Check back on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from Tori. And I hope that you guys are inspired and have a great weekend. Bye!